There are 5 hard truths of life after the age of 80 that every senior citizen ought to be aware of. Advice for aging adults. Have you been warned that living after the age of 80 can feel like a curveball from someone? For the simple reason that even the most powerful and self-reliant individuals can be taken aback by unexpected events. After reaching the age of 80, there are 5 hard and unexpected facts that no one can avoid. In this video, we will explore these realities. The figures on your medical chart and the visible changes in your physical appearance are not what these are. Deeper shifts are occurring here. There is a quiet shift in the way that people interact with you, the way that you see time, and the way that your own memories begin to whisper truths that you had not previously recognized. It's possible that some of these are things that you've already experienced but have been unable to adequately express. You might be surprised by some of them, but they all share one thing in common. They influence the way in which we experience the process of aging. Despite the fact that these shifts may appear to be unpleasant, it is important to remain with this until the very end, since comprehending them can assist you in discovering calm, purpose, and even newfound vigor. Putting a name to what you are experiencing and coming to terms with the fact that you are not the only one going through it may be a really empowering experience. Now, let's get started. To begin, the realm of social connection is becoming increasingly smaller. When you reach the age of 80, one of the first facts that gradually becomes apparent is the obvious reduction in the size of your social sphere. Although it is possible that you will continue to receive phone calls and that you will still have the occasional visitation, there is no denying that the frequency has changed. And, what's more significant, the sensation has also changed. It's possible that what was formerly perceived as a natural rhythm of friendship and connection is now perceived as disjointed and even fragile. Friends go their separate ways, become ill, or pass away. Members of the family become preoccupied with their own lives. You start to spend more time in silence than you do in discussion. And you don't even realize it at first. This is not about resentment, rather, it is about being truthful. After the age of 80, many people don't talk about how difficult it is to maintain meaningful ties with others. You observe a decrease in the number of invitations, as well as an increase in the amount of time that passes between visits. In addition, even if you are not the type of person who requires constant company, the absence begins to speak more loudly than you had anticipated. There is a possibility that you will find yourself reminiscing more, not simply out of a sense of melancholy, but also as a means of ensuring that the people you care about are present in your life, even if only in recollection. The laughing that you used to share with one another and the mundane activities that you used to take for granted are beginning to feel like priceless jewels now. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you for experiencing this. One should not interpret this as a sign of weakness or even loneliness in the conventional sense. Despite the fact that it is a relatively minor adjustment that almost everyone goes through, no one ever prepares you for it. This is the reason why it is more crucial than ever before to maintain an emotional connection to yourself, to your story, and even to just 1 or 2 personal relationships. Because when the mob dies down, the significance of a small number of genuine connections becomes more apparent than it ever has been before. The second topic is the progression of minor health issues into major ones. The fact that even relatively modest health problems no longer remain minor is something that frequently takes people by surprise when they reach their 80s. Compared to the past, a mild cold lasts for a longer period of time. It can take several weeks for a bruise to disappear. A minor misstep that, in the past, would have been forgotten by lunchtime can now result in recuperation for several weeks. Physical therapy, or even surgical intervention. It is not just that the body is slowing down, rather, it is that the body's capacity to recuperate becomes more susceptible to fluctuations. As time goes on, the margin for error decreases, and anything as basic as forgetting to drink enough water or skipping a single meal can throw off your entire system. It's possible that you still have a strong sense of self-confidence, and in many respects, you do. However, your resilience is no longer functioning in the same manner that it did when you were younger. Your attention, your care, and your compassion are now required for something that was used to be automatic. Further, this shift is not something that is frequently discussed by individuals. Individuals such as friends, family, and even your physician may minimize it or attribute it to the natural process of aging. However, you are aware of the variation. Every time you recover, you feel the weight of it. When compared to how things used to be, you notice that your energy drops. In this situation, the difficulty is not only physical but also mental. When you get this feeling, you have the impression that your body isn't on your side as much as it used to be. This can be very frustrating. It is possible that this change will feel like a betrayal to you if you have always taken pride in being tough, active, or independent within yourself. On the other hand, here is the reality. This awareness is literally power. As soon as you become aware of how your body reacts, you will be able to make adjustments. If you slow down, you won't have to concede defeat. You have the ability to tune into what it is that you require, such as more rest, more water, and more forgiveness for yourself. During this phase of life, there is no need to demonstrate anything. Making sure that you do not take the strength that you still possess for granted is the key to protecting it. And there are times when the most powerful thing you can do is to allow yourself to heal completely. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Third, the gradual decline in visibility in social settings that has been going on. One of the most unnerving changes that occurs as you reach the age of 80 is the ease with which others begin to overlook you. This is not because they are cruel, but rather because there is a subtle shift in culture that no one discusses taking place. As you enter a room, you notice that the energy does not seem to change in the same way that it used to. You speak, and other people will sometimes talk over you, not because they intend to, but because they believe you are finished with what you have to say. It's possible that you'll find yourself repeating things, waiting longer to be acknowledged, or simply experiencing a sense of invisibility among crowds. Even when you're with your own family, there is more to this experience than simply remaining unnoticed. It is the gradual loss of presence in a world that continues to move at a faster pace and places a greater emphasis on youth than ever before. Even fewer individuals will be able to adequately prepare you for it. There is a possibility that the world perceives your age before it actually sees you. As is the case with your stories, your views, and your wisdom, they are somehow disregarded, even when they actually contain more truth than ever before. In spite of the fact that you have lived, you have lost, and you have loved, there are times when your presence seems to be diminished. A wide range of feelings, including sadness, frustration, and even a more subdued form of grief, might be triggered by this fact. However, there is also a strength in recognizing this shift for what it is, which is not a reflection of your value but rather of a culture that fails to pay attention to its more experienced members. Your presence is not unnoticed. Although the world might not always pay attention to you first, the weight of your voice is still significant. Those individuals who sit with your stories, your jokes, and your experiences are the ones who matter the most. They are the ones who take the time to truly comprehend you. The fact that it takes them a little bit longer to lean in indicates that they are paying attention. Therefore, do not withdraw. Never allow quiet to define who you are. Discuss what you've witnessed and what you've managed to endure. Take on the role of the unassuming force that serves to remind people of the true meaning of dignity, depth, and perseverance. In spite of the fact that you might not always be the loudest person in the room, you are the most experienced, and that carries more weight than the majority of people know. The fourth point is the constriction of your day-to-day affairs. It's not just about what occurs inside your body. That's one of the most challenging aspects of becoming older after the age of 80. It is about what seems to vanish without a trace from the general public. All of a sudden, your world, which was once bustling with people and places you knew well, begins to feel more limited. Take it one step at a time rather than everything at once. It's possible that you'll find yourself going out less frequently, not because you don't want to, but because things feel more difficult, extended, or exhausting than they used to. Some of the friends who used to visit us have moved away, become ill, or passed away. Neighbors are constantly evolving. Favorite restaurants are closing their doors. That your world does not come to an end. A gentle contraction occurs. There is a significant amount of emotional weight associated with that. In the beginning, the feeling of loneliness may be like a background noise, with only a few instances of extra quiet here and there. However, as time passes, it becomes heavier, even for the most self-reliant individuals. The experience of watching something that was once familiar gradually disappear from one's grasp can be a little disconcerting. But despite that, there is something potent in the way this is named, in the realization that what you are experiencing is not a sign of weakness but rather grief. The natural melancholy that comes with seeing chapters come to a conclusion. There is no indication that you have given up. It indicates that you were concerned. However, here is the reality. Even if the old world continues to contract, a new world can nonetheless continue to grow. It's possible that travel or major events won't be the source of that expansion. From the depth of a new conversation, from a friendship with someone younger, or from sharing your tales in a way that you have never done before. It might come from any of these sources. To be meaningful, the globe does not necessarily need to be very large. Simply said, it must also be alive. Give that pal a call, even if they are located far away. Sign up for that book club, even if it's just an online one. A little stroll, even if it's just around the block, is something you should do. Although your world may appear to be altered, it is not yet over. Things are changing. Additionally, there is still room, a great deal of room for happiness, laughing, and emotional connection. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. The unpredictability of your own body is the fifth point to consider. When you reach the age of 80, your body begins to send you conflicting signals, and it does so frequently at the most inopportune times. When you wake up one morning, you have a clear brain, you are able to stand on your feet, and you have the strength to take on the world. The next thing you know, you're moving more slowly, you're perplexed, and you don't know why your knees aren't cooperating or why your hands aren't able to hold that coffee mug as tightly as they used to. The fact that this is a bodily inconvenience is not the only thing that makes it so frustrating. It is the act of treachery. This body has been your home for the entirety of your life. You have put your faith in it, and at this point, it continues to change the rules on you without giving you any notice or explanation. You might decide to go for a stroll one morning, but then you suddenly experience a rush of exhaustion that you were not expecting. During the process of tying a shoelace, you might find that it takes you a little bit longer to stand back up after bending down. Another possibility is that you are taken aback by symptoms such as dizziness, stiffness, or a peculiar numbness that disappears just as fast as it appeared. The unpredictability, on the other hand, undermines not only mobility but also trust. This is the bit that no one discusses, but it is certainly important. Suddenly, you find yourself having second thoughts about going out, not because you are unable to do so, but rather because you are uncertain about what your body might do. Because of this uncertainty, you may experience feelings of being smaller, more fragile, and even cautious in circumstances in which you previously felt in control. That is a very understandable point of view. However, If there is one reality that might be of assistance in this situation, it is that although your body may no longer be constant, your response to it can be that flexibility takes on the role of your new strength. Capacity for adaptation serves as your defense. In order to avoid giving up, you learn to plan, to pace yourself, and to give yourself grace. You begin to pay a bit more attention to what is being said, to take breaks when necessary, to stretch, and to consult with your physician, not only when something is wrong, but also to learn how to keep one step ahead of the competition. Due to the fact that having knowledge provides you a sense of strength, even when you are confronted with unpredictability. However, despite the fact that your body might not be as dependable as it once was, you are still in complete control of the situation, thanks to all of your knowledge and expertise. I would appreciate it if you could use the 4th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. This is Harsha Marayakaram. Lastly, some thoughts. We have just had the opportunity to go through 5 harsh facts that frequently come to light after the age of 80. Each of these realities is surprising in its own unique manner, and each of them has the potential to subtly alter the way in which we perceive the world. Some of these changes have a way of taking us by surprise. Whether it is the gradual weakening of relationships that were once quite tight or the sudden onset of physical unpredictability that occurs when we are least expecting it. However, here is the reality. It is not the same thing as giving in to decline when you acknowledge these adjustments. It is about entering your life with your eyes wide open so that you can live it to the fullest. With greater wisdom, and with more freedom. What did you find to be the most noteworthy? Among these 5 realities, which one have you observed in your own life, or perhaps in the life of someone who is dear to you? It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Let us know in the comments section below what you think is the most important thing you've learned from today's video and how you intend to react to it. Whether it's letting go of guilt, getting back in touch with someone you've lost touch with, or simply being more kind to your body. Your story has the potential to be the one that inspires someone else. Because in the end, getting older does not mean that one's value decreases. Gaining depth is what it means. And when we confront these realities together, we not only empower ourselves, but we also strengthen one another. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.